Hello, hello, GM, everybody. How's it going, Bill?
Oh, I'm good. The markets, Bitcoin hit 123. It's always
Woo!
better, Rachel, when number goes up, but it's also better when we have Rock from
We got
QuickSwap
Rock in the
on the
house,
stream.
looking like he's ready to run for governor today or something.
He's got
Like
my vote.
super polished. He's got the Bitcoin pin, the American flag. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Rock, how's it going today?
Doing well. When I came on the stream with you guys, you might have noticed when we were just gearing up to go live, I was laughing pretty hard. I just came from a Spaces with Max Kaiser, with Michael Turpin from BitAngels, and Bruce Fenton from Satoshi Roundtable, and a bunch of Gary Cardone, Grant Cardone's brother, etc. And
Oh,
I think
nice.
I think we left with the craziest mic drop I might have heard on a Spaces before. So Litecoin account came up, and Max Kaiser, Bitcoin Maxi was doing his thing, and I'm Bitcoin maximalish. I believe Bitcoin is the king, but it's not the only thing. I think there's lots of other great experiments. And I asked Max Kaiser his thoughts on is Litecoin the silver to Bitcoin's gold, and does it play a role in what we're doing here? And he started soft and ended with basically for all the shit coiners that are addicted to these things like alcohol or drugs, that they're gonna hit rock bottom, and I think he said something like, and if they don't, you should blow your brains out. So Max
Yeah.
Kaiser went
Woo!
nuclear on Litecoin.
So that's
Yeah.
okay. That's what you're talking about in our chat. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta go listen back to the recording of this. Man, I have like FOMO from
I
not being on
think
the
I think I
space.
missed out. I should have just joined just for that.
Yeah, well, Rock, I do want to take a moment. I mean, I've seen you guys around for so many years. I've seen QuickSwap. I've actually been on spaces back in the day, with Aztec and so many others from the community. I'm curious to hear like your introduction, your journey into Web3, and what you guys are focused on nowadays.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I've been a fan of your guys for some time
Thank
also.
you.
So I'm Rock Zacharias. I'm the CEO of Lunar Digital Assets. We're a venture studio. We incubated Polygon, QuickSwap, and LitVM, and a lot of people's other favorites. I serve on the Polygon Grants Board. So that's $1 billion fund over 10 years that we use to grow Polygon and the entire Ethereum ecosystem. I am also the head of. I'm like teary eyed from laughing at Max Kaiser so much. That was too much. But I'm also head of Global Leadership Council for Michael Turpin's BitAngels. Turpin and BitAngels, it's basically a network where we have investors and founders meet around the world. We have 30 cities, and we try to introduce founders to funders or investors, and try to get the investors to write checks. Yeah, I'm also a mentor for Tim Draper's Bitcoin Fi Accelerator,
Very
co-founder
cool.
co-founder of QuickSwap, and co-founder of LitVM, the new Litecoin L2 that Charlie Lee and Litecoin Foundation are endorsing.
So you have a stacked resume, to say the
I
least.
mean,
I feel like that's an understatement.
are you hiring? I mean, damn. Seems like you're cooking a lot of great things, Rock. But let me ask you a quick question. So you have all these things going on, but kind of like, you know, what draws you? Let's talk QuickSwap for starters. Why is QuickSwap so important to you, and why do you focus your time in establishing this massive juggernaut?
So when we started QuickSwap, our goal was to be very community oriented. So we gave almost all the tokens to the community. We gave 97% of the supply to the community. I, as a co-founder, actually rejected any tokens as a co-founder. And over time, I did receive some. I asked from LDA, our venture studio, I said, hey, I don't want to be paid in dollars or stable coins. I want to be paid in quick tokens. And so I earned some, and I've never sold any of those. I've bought way more on the open market, but it was always a community first thing. When we started it, we noticed we were doing 10 to 100 times the transactions of like Uniswap, but they were small transactions, and so we were curious, like, what are these? When I was watching the Block Explorer, these 10 cent, 50 cent, $5 transactions, I was like, what is this? Because it was before bots were prevalent and arbitrage was prevalent. This was 6 years ago, I think. And what we found out was it was mostly people in third world countries, in Africa and Latin America, were trading these small amounts. And so I think that's the beauty of this industry, is that we bank the unbanked, or we debank the world, you could say. And so yeah, it's a big passion of mine, is not equality, but giving people these opportunities so they have more of a chance of equality through the free market.
I love that. I love that you touched on that, because that is one of the philosophical ideals that really drew me into the space. Like the promise of more financial self-sovereignty and also giving more economic opportunities to these underserved regions. I mean, I was just talking earlier about this workshop I did with the Bank of Ghana. We had the head of innovation and fintech on from Ghana who came in, and we were talking about how a lot of populations are unbanked in these rural regions. Like some people do not have access to financial instruments. And I think that's one of the things in this space that's so exciting to me, not just like the number go up side, but like the impact side. How can we solve problems for actual people in the world that need it most? So I love that you touched on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do too.
there's less people with banks in the world than mobile phones. So, and internet. So
Wild.
we
I think
can we can bank these people.
I
Yeah.
think that's the power. That's one of the benefits, the beauty about decentralized tech, and giving equal first of all, giving equal opportunity to people. If someone wants the ability to go in an investment or do something, like there's no accredited investor status, none of that stuff, you can do it. But
Oh,
also
yeah.
allowing people the opportunity to transact. Like you're saying, bank the unbanked, and crypto's that solution for many.
Yeah, absolutely. I think accredited investor laws are some of the worst,
It's
gatekeeping we can
gatekeeping.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Crypto is money for the people, by the people. That's why I love it. And yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for us on the impact side of things. So I love that the conversation's going there, because that's I'm a big proponent of that. Um, Rock, I don't know if you mind giving us an overview. If you can kind of share about the QuickSwap platform. I mean, you guys have been around for so many years. I'm curious, like, if you can kind of review the origin story and kind of overview like the suite of things that you do.
Yeah, so Sandeep, we were incubating Polygon and had done a lot of good work there, and really built the community there. We brought in over 1,000 applications between LDA and QuickSwap to Polygon. So Sandeep came to me and said, "Hey, you guys are the best at BD and marketing that I know. If I give you my best devs that I know, can you build a DEX for Matic at the time?" And I said, "I don't know. I've never built a DEX, but
That's huge. Shout out to Sandeep, by the way. He's a really nice guy. I didn't know, I've done workshops with like Jordy, and you've probably seen me around the block with Polygon over the years, or
yeah, yeah,
Colin.
yeah.
But Sandeep one day, I didn't even know that he like knew of me or knew of my work. But sorry, like, but my father passed away, and he made a post saying, so sorry for your loss, reach out
Wow.
to me. And I was like, that's wild that a founder of a project like that, like, actually took the time to like,
Yeah.
reach out and just share some kindness at that time. So that was
That,
really, really nice of him.
That's really cool. Yeah, my father passed away too. That's
I'm
so cool that
sorry.
he would do that. That sounds like a Sandeep thing, though.
Yeah.
And Vitalik gave him, I think, half of the SHIB tokens, or like,
Yep.
I don't know, it was like $1 billion or $2 billion he gave him, and he used that to try to help people that were in need in India during COVID. And
So
he's a very,
admirable. Yeah.
very giving person for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely good. I have a lot of good memories with the Polygon team, Polygon community. I mean, I've done so many events with I'm sure you know Polygon, Colin. I've done so
oh
many
yeah,
events with him. That's my boy. So yeah, I have a lot of great experiences over the past years.
So Rock,
very.
let me ask you this. So obviously Polygon is where it all started with QuickSwap. Actually, that is anytime I bridge, but I didn't use it too much like Matic back at the time. Often, but I know QuickSwap was the dominant player. But now you're moving on to Base, and you're trying to get established in the Base ecosystem. Talk to me the thought process on that. What interests you guys the most about coming to Base?
I think for me, and QuickSwap is not just me, so I'm just speaking for myself here. It's a community run project, but for me, what's most interesting is the community. I think in this industry, community is everything, and Base has a very vibrant community. I think even though there is maybe, there's some communities where you see a lot more kind of degeneracy and people that don't care about either decentralization or some of the values that we're trying to, kind of facilitate here. Base has just such a great community. Now there are some degens, and that's okay. I say, with love, but I think Base has done a good job of focusing on builders, community, tech. I think the stuff they're doing with Farcaster and some of the different social media, decentralized social media stuff. I've seen, DeSci stuff happening on Base.
Oh
There's
yeah.
just so much great stuff happening there. And actually, one of our team members wanted to go to Base when it was first starting, and we were like, well, but we're not getting like direct support or like financial support. Does it make sense? It's going to be hard to compete. And I wish we would have done it then, but I think better late than never. And
Yep.
we've gotten, since we announced that we're coming, I've never seen us get so many DMs and people
Yeah.
reaching out to
That's
support.
the Base way.
That is the base way.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, so many people saying, hey, we're going to move our LP to QuickSwap. We want to support you coming over. The Base team has been really, helpful in introducing us to other, members of the community and builders. And so, yeah, we're excited to be part of the Base community.
And we're excited to have you here. I mean, it's definitely, I've seen a lot of buzz around your move here. And you guys, you're not a small project. You've been around for years. You have a stack, just you alone. You have such a stacked resume, stacked team, community, just really the perfect formula to have a successful project. And you're coming onto Base. So we're just as excited as you are. So we wanted to properly welcome you here today. I know you guys just went live this week. So I don't know if you want to talk about that, like what that process looked like, how folks can get started, stuff like that.
Yeah, so some of our products are live already, and in the coming days, we'll be rolling out more of our products. We have this thing we call the Dragonfly ecosystem, which is that we're not just a DEX. We are a suite of all kinds of products, both built internally by our foundation and but also by the community and other builders. And so my team's DMing me some funny stuff, but anyways,
Tell them to hop in the comments on the live stream if they want to chime in or ask any questions, or if anybody wants to jump in, feel free.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to the over 580 people combined.
Woo!
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, our team, I see them DMing and spreading it in a bunch of groups and stuff. So you guys should be getting that number. Let's grow that number. But yeah, so there's thousands of projects building on top of QuickSwap, literally thousands of projects. There's thousands of people who've integrated the Quick token into their ecosystem somehow, et cetera. So I'll give you some examples of some of the kind of industry standards that we've helped to build. So many might know, if you're DeFi heads, you'll know about things like Gamma. So Gamma is an example of when Uniswap and everyone moved to this concentrated liquidity model, it became hard for the end user to provide liquidity now, because you had to manage these ranges and you had to move your liquidity, and it just became very hard, and it started to become an institutional kind of thing. So as a way to make it easier for the little guys, including myself, to just kind of put liquidity and set it and forget it, we approached a team called Gamma. Now, Gamma at the time, it only had about 1 million in TVL. No one was really using them, and they were built on Uniswap on Ethereum. And we found them and we said, this is a really cool product you guys have. We think that maybe it could be done a little bit better. At the time, there was a similar product, Arrakis, who actually we gave a grant from Polygon for 15 million. Well, actually, we gave the grant to, this was to Uniswap, actually. And then Uniswap gave the grant to Arrakis to give liquidity mining and on this product built on top of Uniswap. But the problem was, you guys might have seen reports that, majority of Uniswap LPs were losing money due to impermanent loss, because concentrated liquidity, it can increase your profit through fees, but it also increases your impermanent loss. So it's a leverage both ways. And so we talked to Gamma. We said, we want to build something more sustainable that's not just fueled by liquidity mining rewards. And so I can't remember. I think we might have helped them with some audits. I'm not sure on that one, but we helped them test their product and kind of customize it. And then we built it into our front end. We were the first people to do that in the industry. Now, Gamma is being used on, I don't know, over 100 DEXs in the industry. Everybody uses it. It's built into most of the big front ends. And this was something we innovated. Another example, and we call this the QuickSwap effect, is that when we take a bet on some of these teams and we give them a stage with the community and give them a chance to prove themselves, that then other people will start using them. And so another one was Algebra. Algebra built concentrated liquidity similar to Uniswap when Uniswap was licensing things. And so no one could use the Uniswap code. So Algebra built their own version of concentrated liquidity, but also added some really interesting things that have helped us make a lot more revenue, which is like these dynamic fees. And they have all these other cool things. Well, Algebra, similar to Gamma, had no audience. They had about 1 million in TVL, same thing. They were competing with us and Uniswap and others. And we flew out to Dubai and we met with the team and we did pay for audits for them. And we did the same thing. We built it into our front end. Within, months, it already had 30 to 50 mil in TVL. And now everybody uses Algebra. There's probably 50, 100 DEXs that use Algebra. And so I could go down the list of like Orbs with our liquidity hub is another great team. Merkle with their farming distribution mechanisms. And there's all kinds of other things that all the DEXs now use that we helped pioneer. And we're bringing, the point is, we're bringing all of that to Base.
That is huge.
Exciting.
That's like I'm just trying to wrap my head around how big this really is. Bill, I'm sharing my screen for the website. Maybe if we can take a look real quick. Can folks like find some of this work and these projects on your website? Like where can people kind of stay in the loop with everything you guys are doing?
Yeah, so Gamma is built directly into the site. I believe some of the ALMs are built into the site. We just did a whole rehaul of the website, so I can't talk to you exactly through the path, but if you dig around, you could find some of these things. But yeah, like I said, Gamma's everywhere now. Everyone uses it, and they have their own website, but now people build it into the front end. But so you could go to like pools. I can't see the screen what you're doing because I'm on my mobile and it's very small. But you could go to like pools and dig around, and you'll find these like automated liquidity managers, which again make it so that you don't have to manage your liquidity anymore. You just can deposit. And I'm bringing, I was working on it a little bit before, but I got sidetracked by the random Max Kaiser show. But I'll be depositing probably 7 figures onto Base today, and using these tools.
We are shooting that Base liquidity up today, you guys. That is incredible.
And we'll be giving liquidity mining for this stuff. We'll be doing all kinds of big campaigns to try to help. We don't want to come to Base and just take the community. We want to bring our community. We want to bring more value to the ecosystem and more economic value, more builders, and and my team just said liquidity mining starts tomorrow. So you guys will be able to get some nice juicy rewards, which to me are really important, not for long-term sustainability, but they're a good bootstrapping mechanism. Yeah. I think in this industry, that's how we should think of these as like not sustainable practice. You want to live off of trading fees, but we're going to use them as a bootstrapping mechanism. And I think most DeFi projects should learn from that. You don't want to use these as a long-term solution because they just inflate over time. But to bootstrap new launches, new products, I think they're great.
Rock, question for you. You're obviously very passionate about this space, and you're very intelligent, and it's great to talk to someone like you. Talk to me about your journey getting into crypto. I mean, when did it all start? When was that aha moment? Like, hey, we got something here. Were you an early Bitcoin adopter? Or did you buy? Just talk to us about your journey coming into the space.
I was in the medical field. Actually, let's go back farther. 25 years ago, I was selling
unpacking the lore.
I was selling digital currencies 25 years ago, way before Bitcoin, to Brock Pierce and Jonathan Yantis. Brock Pierce made Tether and Bitfinex and EOS, and I actually live with him here, not with him, but in Puerto Rico. And he has DNA Fund here and things, but I was selling him digital currencies. I was very young. I was like from the age of like 12 to 14. And I was the second highest ranked shaman in the world. And he was the second highest
Wow.
ranked wizard in the world. And so we hit it off. And he was selling these currencies on what became later IGE, Internet Gaming Entertainment, which became the biggest gold seller. And it was a multi-billion-dollar company selling gold in EverQuest and WoW. So that opened my eyes to digital scarcity and why I thought that it was when I first found Bitcoin and I found the white paper in 2015 while I was getting ready for medical school. It made sense to me because I had digital assets before that had lots of value. I spent 7 years of my life playing EverQuest. I dropped out of the championship wrestling team to become the raid leader of my
What have
guild.
you not done? This sounds like I don't know, like a movie or just a crazy like what have you not done?
I don't know. I mean, I was an MMA fighter for like 10 years too. But anyway,
Wow.
so when I found the Bitcoin white paper, oh, we just hit all-time high, guys. 123,500.
Whoa, let's
Let's
go.
go.
That's a good signal here. We're live here on the live stream, you guys.
Good things happen
Good
when
things are
you
happening.
tune into the
There's
live stream
good
when we break
juju
the
in
high.
the air
It
right
is.
now. I'm feeling like isn't it so much fun when the space is just like so lit up like this? Like everyone's in a good mood. Like everyone loves everyone. It's so much fun.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So basically, yeah, digital assets made sense to me. I remember selling this item called a Scepter of Destruction. There was only 7 of them on the server, and I was selling one to some guy, and for $1,000. I was like 13, and I asked the guy, I was like, "Look, I don't want to like ruin my sale here, but why would you pay $1,000 for this?" And he said, I'm a doctor. My real job, I'm a doctor, and I could never get this in the game. There's only 7 of them on the server. It would take me 6 months or years maybe to try to save up the money to get this. And that only takes me, whatever, a couple days at work or whatever. And so it was that made me realize we can have digital scarcity. And so when I found, Bitcoin in 2015, I dropped out of my whole medical career. I was already doing some surgeries on animals, testing this thing called at UCI Medical Center under Dr. Imagawa, legendary doctor. And we were testing this thing called nanoknife, which I didn't invent it or anything. I was just, a young kid. I was in my 20s, helping test this thing on animals. PETA didn't like us, but I think it's important that we test these on animals before humans. But anyways, so now that thing is saving lots of lives. But so I was down my medical career path. I had, published research on genetics and these things. And I found Bitcoin in 2015, and I just completely walked away from all that and said, I got to work in this field. I don't know what I'm going to do in this field, but this is going to change the world. My family, partially, some of my family kind of disowned me. My aunt, who was a doctor, and we have a lot of history at my university, Loyola Marymount University. She was really mad. She didn't talk to me for a bit. And
Wow.
but I knew it was the right thing I had to do was go all in on Bitcoin. And
That's
our
literally
industry.
called conviction. And
Yeah.
what's even more impressive about that? It's not that you found Bitcoin that early. It's not like you were in 2009 or 2010 when you can buy for cents. 2015 is still pretty early, but not that early. So for you to drop out of medical school or as a doctor in that route, that's huge conviction. So kudos for you for
Yeah,
taking
it's
that.
not like you had to do it's like you had a pretty steady course you were on, but I think like many of us, we discovered the space, we see what's possible, the light bulb goes off for us, and it's like, yeah, we can't miss this moment. It's history in the making right now. So I totally feel that as well, and have similar experience getting in, not coming from medical school, but yeah.
So I do want to, because I don't want to
Mhm.
misconstrue to the audience there. Just to be clear, I wasn't in medical school. I was studying to get into medical school. I had just finished my undergrad and was, I had all the accolades though to go to medical school with the surgery
Got
and
it.
everything. But
Still
yeah,
same thing though. Yeah.
just don't
Got
want
it.
to mislead
Thank
the
you for
audience. But yeah.
clarifying. I appreciate the keeping it factual here. So yeah, just to kind of go through the agenda more here. And I know we touched on impact, solving problems for people. I'm curious, like, what are the main problems that you're solving for people and for traders through QuickSwap?
So I think the main thing is making it so that we could trade these assets around the world without intrusive government KYC or the risk of institutions taking your assets. And and that's where you're lucky. That's where you're in a first world country. That's the best case scenario, is that they're going to invade your privacy, and that you are lucky enough to have your money in a bank that may go under, and most of them have over time. If you're unlucky, you're in another country where they won't even consider giving you a trading account. You don't even have an ID to do KYC.
Yeah.
You're there's many people in the world that have no IDs, they have no bank accounts, and they're not valuable enough to be banked. And so with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with QuickSwap, with Uniswap, with Aerodrome, with Aave, with all of these things, you can be banked, you can have financial services. I bought my Tesla in 2019 with a loan from MakerDAO. I didn't have to go to a bank.
Cool.
I just put up my ETH, took out a loan at a low interest rate. I think it was like 2 or 3%. It was a variable, but how cool is that I could take a loan, and then I took the DAI and converted to cash, and I bought my Tesla.
How did it feel buying a self-driving electric car with magic internet money? I'm curious, because that felt really. I remember I got my Tesla in 2023, and I was like, damn, I just worked, making magic internet money and turned it into a self-driving electric vehicle. That was a pretty good feeling. It felt like we're in the future.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been a fan of Elon for a long time. When I was first following him, I don't even know, 2016 maybe. 17, and everybody just laughed at him. I would argue with my mom about it a lot. I would tell her, trust me, these electric cars are the future. This Elon guy is going to change the world.
All these companies starting to roll out electric vehicles. It really is.
I need to get myself one. After this bull run, I'll be getting.
The best purchase I've ever made. I love the driving experience. Having the self-driving auto drive, nothing beats that. It's awesome.
It's incredible. The only annoying thing is that because of regulations, it has to you have to actually look or hold the wheel,
Oh,
and every 14 drives me crazy.
Put your eyes on the road. Yeah, we can't. Sometimes if I'm wearing a hat, it'll say, we can't see your eyes. Are you looking at the road?
Wow, it had really that strict of a thing.
It's really strict. Yeah, it's because if
strikes, and they could terminate, if you're not following the rules of the self-driving, you get a couple strikes, and then they could totally disable it. Yeah.
Wow.
They'll turn it off.
Someone, in my DMs,
for the drive, and I think if you do it enough, they'll freeze you from it or take you out of full self-driving or something. But I understand, because the problem is, if you're in a gas car and you get in a car accident, it is not going on the news. But if you are in a Tesla and you get in an accident, it might go on the news, right? And so it's unfair, because Tesla's actually, what's that?
Yeah, it could be a pure nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with Teslas, they get in full self-driving. The stats are a Tesla gets in 1/9 of the accidents of a regular human driver. Human drivers are 9 times less safe than a person in a Tesla using full self-driving. People don't care about that stat. They care about, and I've had arguments with people about this online. They're like, it doesn't matter if I'm trusting this, technology, it shouldn't be getting in accidents. But it's that's not realistic. Mm-hmm. If it is better than a human, we should be happy with that. That's a good standard, But yeah, so I guess I have one other thing I'd like to just call attention to in the world. And that's Javier Milei in Argentina and what he's doing with libertarianism. This is I bet big on Bitcoin in 2015. I bet big on Ethereum in 2016. I bet big on Elon and Tesla in 2017, Polygon in 2018, etc. And Javier Milei is one of the things I think we should all be paying attention to. Oh, my team's texting. Here we go. They know. I'm
looking this up right now to see if we can pull up. Are there any articles or?
Tell me the alpha. What should I aid?
It's not enough in the media, but you can find stuff. Yeah, it's not covered enough. I'm gonna write some papers about it or something. But basically, he's moving the country from socialism. Argentina was one of the richest countries in the world for a long time, and then it went to socialist. And there's great merits to some things about having social programs. I agree with that, but you can't go pure socialism and take the means of production out of the hands of private. And so the point is, basically, He's now moved towards a very strong move towards libertarianism, which is the belief that the government should stay out of our business. We should have smaller government, and that we should allow people to have freedom over their own assets and the things that they do. And that as long as I'm not hurting you, you should not hurt me or bother me. Right? It's a very simple. It's called the non-aggression principle. And so this has never been tried with a country, though, and he is trying it with a country. The entire country of Argentina was tired of being poor, and they lost, all of their prosperity. And so since he's done this, he laid off like half of the government quickly, and I thought that was dangerous, but I was wrong. Yes, poverty went up in the short term for a few months. It caused a little mini recession because half the people work for the government. But now poverty is dropping like a rock from 52% to 31%. The middle class has grown by 8 million just in the last few months, which is like 14% of the population. Their inflation dropped from 30% per month down to 1.5% per month. And their GDP is now first time ever, or first time in like 10, 20 years, growing really fast. It's at like 8% GDP growth. And they are in a fiscal surplus, and they have now fixed their dropping peso, and they've gotten off the black market like currency exchange rate. And it's just an incredible story, and we'll see if it keeps going. But if it does, the reason I think it's important for us to follow is because if this works, I believe that it'll be like a mind virus, a libertarian mind virus, and it'll spread first to Latin America, and other Latin American presidents are watching this and talking about it in the media. And then it'll spread, I hope, to the rest of the world, because I do think libertarianism lifts both poor and rich.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
sorry,
this
I
is
had
a
to steal
really
that real
incredible
idea
story.
here.
This is a
How do
really
we-
incredible story.
let me ask you this, Rock, because we have a mix of sophisticated people, degens, everything. Is there a way to get exposure to what Javier Milei is doing in crypto by any chance?
Not really. So he has mentioned Bitcoin. He likes Bitcoin, but I think he's being careful because he's really trying to please the US. He's trying to have better relations with the US. And so he's talking about actually dollarizing, so getting off their currency controls and then moving to the dollar. But if you see what like Bukele in El Salvador did, they moved to the dollar first because their money printer broke. You would only move to the dollar or Bitcoin if your money printer breaks first, because as a government, it's nice to have the money printer, right? Selfishly. But once your money printer breaks, then maybe you move to the dollar, and then you move to Bitcoin next. As for getting exposure, I've been talking to a lot of people about this as a United States citizen. How can I get exposure to the Argentinian markets? Because I think they're going to continue to grow. I don't have anything to tell your show here today, but just keep following the situation. And I'm flying to Argentina for Ethereum Dev Connect
Nice.
later this year,
Very
and
cool.
I'll be trying to figure out how I can invest in Argentina. Yeah.
Are you going to Token Singapore by any chance? Can you hear me?
Rock, you there?
Yeah, I think Rachel, her internet. I thought we were frozen here, but I guess it's her internet.
Oh.
It keeps telling me we're
I
having
just
some
thought-
issues or connection or
I
something.
thought maybe, is
But,
that something we can't talk about?
Yeah,
Token
we're
20?
really excited coming to Base,
maybe you can't hear me?
and I want everyone to try QuickSwap on Base, and what I think the best niche that we fill. We did this on Polygon. Uniswap came to Polygon and was mostly like blue chip stuff. But what we're really good at is working with the community members and the builders. And so if you're a project and you've been, you're on Base and you're having trouble getting support, maybe from, Uniswap or Aerodrome or others, and we love both of those. But if you are looking for some really good community support, reach out to QuickSwap. You can message the QuickSwap account on Twitter or come into our Telegram, and we're very, very active with the community. Darren from QuickSwap, everyone calls him Panda.
Shout out to Darren.
Nice.
Can you
He's-
hear me now, Rock, by the way?
Yeah. You were
Can
having,
you hear
I
me?
think,
Okay.
a little connection, but yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, just I was asking if you were able to make it to Token Singapore coming up.
Yep.
Yep.
be
okay.
there.
Awesome.
And
Cool, I'm
we'll have a
starting to
few
talk to
team members there.
projects. Very cool.
I
We
need to
should
figure out-
definitely chat.
I need to figure out a way to get to these cool events, Rachel, and like meet
Let's
up.
make it
I would love to
happen,
meet up with
Bill.
you, Rock. I would love to. Thing is, though, I have these toddlers. It's hard. How do I figure this out? But
He's a crypto dad.
Crypto Dad, one of those. But the show must go on because I want to meet Rock in person. I'm vibe with you, bro. And we
Hey,
can talk
Rock,
all
are you
about
coming to Onchain
everything.
Summit? We have a big base event happening next week
Oh,
in
yeah.
San Francisco.
Jesse will be
Kind
there.
of short notice. You're going to be there?
I didn't know we have this coming up.
Well,
I might
Jesse
be
will
going.
be there. Base team. Everyone's coming out for
What
this.
day? Because I
it's
I
gonna
just
be-
got invited to Anthony Scaramucci's SALT conference, and that's
Nice.
in Wyoming in like
Okay.
5 days, and
All right, let's
I'm
look at the
probably going to go to
calendar.
that.
This is
Let's
the
build in public
22nd,
here.
the 22nd through the 25th. So it's a Friday to Sunday. It's probably the #1 event for base community. It's very small, intimate, 400. Like I said, Jesse will be there. That's me and Rachel are the official media partners there.
Yeah, we'll have a media
so.
room. We could do content with you guys. My videographer will be there. He's formerly Nike, worked on a commercial that won an Emmy. He's really good. We will have top tier talent there to produce content. Let's show him really quick. By the way,
actually,
yeah.
too, just so you know, Rock, because it's like a very centric. There's all sorts of communities there sponsoring it, so it's a good way for the communities that there's like 15 different communities you're sponsoring to get to know QuickSwap on a deeper level. So
yeah,
I think this is a big. I think it's a good opportunity.
Bill,
I
might
be able to.
If you could show.
Or I know one of my team members is closer because I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm from LA for almost 40 years, but now I'm in Puerto Rico.
We're in SoCal. We're in Laguna Beach, baby.
Marina
oh,
Del
nice.
Rey, baby.
Oh, man, I love Laguna. That's where, what is that? Is 1,000 Steps, is that in Laguna?
Thousands. I'm not sure what that is. I've been here for a couple months.
If Rachel's talking, I can't hear her. My team says I might be talking over her. I keep seeing connection issues.
Can you hear me at least?
I can hear you. Let me fix my connection real quick. One moment.
Okay. Bill, I'm sharing my screen, by the way, if you can hear me.
Oh, yeah. Let's get Rock here.
Yeah, we got an on-chain summit, Pill, QuickSwap, man. It's coming up.
I think it's a no-brainer move for QuickSwap, especially with like degen traders and just like other people getting to know, because there's a lot of options out there. But if you want to be able to get to know the team more, I think it's a win-win. And this event's going to even be bigger than last year.
Oh yeah,
because everything is just so much more exciting.
There's so much FOMO around this. Can you hear me, Rock?
I can't hear anyone now.
No.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think, and especially now the market's pumping, Rachel, I think it's going to be electric. I really do. I think.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Just to see all of our friends in person, to have the media room, to run it back and do interviews and content. Yeah. I mean, last year, you guys, for those of you watching or watching this, we actually launched Onchain Media last year at Onchain Summit. So this event definitely holds a special place in our heart because we're coming back around. We're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Onchain Media. So I might be cooking up some fun stuff around that. So very excited. Looks like Rock dropped off.
Okay. No big deal.
So I don't.
Oh no, I think he's back on. He's back on. Rock, what's up? Can you hear us?
Hey.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
We hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. My team said my connection must be bad, and that me and Rachel, I kept talking over her, but it kept showing her as blank screen to me. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. You can hear us now, okay, right?
Yeah, perfect now.
And by the way, shout out to the 890 people tuning in.
Woo.
Let's break a K. Light work.
Yeah, let's do it. Definitely talking about Summit. We'll get some of our Summit family in here. But yeah, these are just some photos of last year, Rock. I actually emceed last year, and Bill and I actually were working the media room here, which we'll have this year again, where we both got to interview Jesse, did several interviews of projects. So if you get someone from QuickSwap to come out, we could definitely work out some time in that room for you.
Yeah, you'll get media coverage. We'll have you on, and like I said, it's a very intimate venue, probably like 400 people, but you have all the top base people, and it's just a good way for QuickSwap to really make a splash right away on base.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to see if I go to Wyoming for this SALT conference, because I am a bit far from you guys. I'm like a 10-12 hour flight, but if I go there, I could definitely drop by. Otherwise, I think Aztec from our team, who I think
Shout
You
out
might
to
have mentioned it.
Aztec. Yeah.
Aztec may be able to come too. He's not as far. He's in Arizona, so yeah,
Oh,
let's
you
try
can
to figure it
fly.
out.
That's a
Love
short,
it.
yeah, that's a short trip. And I also was sharing when you dropped off, Rock, that Onchain Media was launched at Onchain Summit. So going into this event, it definitely holds a special place in our hearts for Bill and I, because we actually launched our company there. So this is the 1 year anniversary of Onchain Media this year. So very excited about that. Um, but yeah, I guess Bill, I don't know if you have anything else on the agenda you want to go through on
No,
your
no.
end.
I mean, honestly, Rock, I'm blown away by your professionalism and just your general, not just crypto knowledge, but just overall, what's going on in the world.
Macro.
I value the libertarianism principles as
Appreciate it.
well, and I know if we meet in person, we're gonna vibe. So I'll figure out a way to do that. But I guess for you, Rock, my last question would be, what would you like to say? Any last words to the base ecosystem community who are, now learning about you guys for the very first time?
Yeah, just let's do stuff together. Let's build stuff together. That's what we're all about. And yeah, like if you're building on Base and Polygon or on Ethereum, like we're talking to the Ethereum Foundation right now about
Nice.
co-funding some grants for like privacy and things. So as in Polygon and Ethereum Foundation potentially co-funding some things. And I'm also talking to Arbitrum about and Optimism about trying to maybe if we could all work together to co-fund some interoperability so that we can get there's something a phrase I've coined called declustering, and what that
Mm.
means is we have these clusters. There's Optimism with Superchain and Arbitrum with Orbits and Polygon with AgLayer and ZK Sync has their stack. But Vitalik has said recently that it's important that we don't build these walled gardens. We got to find ways
Yep.
to get all of these to work together, and so. I want to, one of my fantasies, I guess, is to see a world where we can have, like, look, there are other chains that are competitive to us in the Ethereum ecosystem, in the base ecosystem, in the Arbitrum and Optimism, Polygon, all this, and some of them, don't have the same values as we have at Ethereum of decentralization and self custody and privacy and these things. So I think Vitalik has said it's important that we don't all fight each other. We don't create these walled gardens, that we find ways to bring all these things together. Now, I don't know if that's something that Ethereum Foundation will have to like top down tell us to work together, but they
Mm-hmm.
have, there are these calls where we have these interoperability discussions. And I have said, as being on the Polygon Grants board, I'm glad to pledge potentially millions of dollars to us all working together to make interoperability between all of the Ethereum L2s. I think that's the only way we really can get to mainstream adoption, and that when Ethereum has the best chance of success.
Wow.
Totally. And I didn't mention this to you, Rock, but my experience with Ethereum runs pretty deep. I don't know if you know the University of Ethereum, but I actually put together a lot of workshops that was directly funded by Vitalik for several years, helped throw the Ethereum, the EdCon conference in Tokyo. So really love that you guys are prioritizing working with Ethereum. And, Base and Ethereum are very much aligned, Base being an L2. So I think that's really positive that you're also collaborating with EF. By the way,
Base could have gone anywhere. Base could have done their own L1, but they chose Ethereum. And same with Polygon. And recently, I can't share like details, but Robinhood came to Ethereum through the Arbitrum stack, and there were other discussions happening outside of Ethereum. And so I'm really happy it went the way it did. Yeah, and we have a history of funding things together. So like Viper is a programming language that Vitalik actually first funded, and we recently gave a grant to Viper through Polygon. And so I think it's really important that we all just work together on these things. Shout out to Casey from the Ethereum Foundation, who
I love Casey from East Denver as well.
Very nice. And also shout out to Michelle who is on our grants board and who has done research on all of the different grants programs around the industry. So she's got some really great research you can look into. She's over at Octant, which is one of the biggest holders of ETH. They hold, I don't know, over 100,000 of ETH originally from Golem, which was an interesting data computation thing from like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
And then shout out, let's see, to Maddie from Polygon Labs side. And we're all trying to work together to just, push Ethereum to its limits and keep all of our decentralization and these ethos in mind. If I could,
I love it.
if I could shill one thing, actually,
Shill away.
we're trying to bring also on this note the proof of work chains into the Ethereum side too. So we are incubating Litecoin layer 2, or we call it a ZK Omnichain. It uses ZK rollup technology from Plonky and some of the Polygon ZK stuff, and also Bitcoin OS's Bitcoin ZK rollups. And we've built a customized version of this to make it so that Litecoin can have ZK rollups, have full EVM compatibility, and also plug fully into Ethereum, Base, Arbitrum, Polygon, etc. through Polygon's ag layer. And then eventually, hopefully, we could get all of these stacks to the bridging and the interop and the cross-chain DeFi Legals to all work together. We have Charlie Lee and the Litecoin Foundation are supporting there, which is an honor to have them. Actually, one of the Litecoin Foundation members, David Schwartz, is on the team overseeing the community governance side of LitVM. And so just want to, shout out LitVM as a way we can maybe bring together the proof of work chains and the proof of stake and ETH and L2s.
Very cool. And I do want to show just two things, on the topic of Polygon. I wanted to show just a couple of things I've done with these guys over the years, because I'm sure we know a lot of mutual folks. I'm sharing my screen here, Bill, by the way.
Let's get it.
Sorry, I don't have controls here. But I don't know if you know Marco Grendel, Justice. Like,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
done so many spaces with those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Had Asta, Marco, did a lot, also been rocking this hoodie for several years that I got at ETH Denver. And I've just done so much with these guys over the years, had them on my first podcast I did. And I've had a really positive experience doing events and spaces with them, and bringing them out to organize an ag cave in Tokyo, which was really cool, at the United Nations University. So for whatever reason, that's not popping up here, but that was really fun as well.
Very
and
cool.
You guys, a little announcement here. Wasn't expecting this during the stream, but shout out to our dev for the Onchain Media mini app, Dan Hendrickson. He posted during the stream that we just went to number 3 on the news mini app section on Forecaster and the Base app. So Onchain Media just went up a spot, and we have this live stream being broadcasted in the mini app. So very
cool. During this show, did the show help that?
Let's see. We got Dan in the comments here. Dan, I don't know if you know that to be true, but yeah, let us know.
I love it.
I love it. This stream has a lot of good juju. We surpassed new all-time high for Bitcoin. Onchain Media is soaring. We got our live stream in the mini app. So it's a good day.
Very cool.
Indeed. Well,
anyway, you guys,
I'll have to download the app.
Yes, come to the Base app. Come to the Base app or Forecaster.
Rock, you're not on the Base app yet? We got to change that. We got to get you on the Base app, man.
To be honest, I this is terrible to say, but I don't use a lot of dApps right now because I'm just so busy. A lot of my assets just sit. Like my Bitcoin hasn't moved in 10 years, but I will, for you guys, I will definitely download it and play with it.
Let's go. That's what we like to hear.
All right, we'll do the whole proper Base onboarding for you, Rock. We're just so excited that you're here, and we want to welcome you and your team to the Base community.
Absolutely.
So welcome.
And I think I need there's an invite code for that. I think I should use.
Well, between me and Bill, we'll figure this out.
Right.
We will get you on.
Not a problem.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome. Well, I think that's it, Rachel. I mean, we end on a high note. 960 viewers. Bitcoin's all-time high. I'm ready for all seasons.
And Ethereum all-time high.
Ethereum all-time high.
Bill, you're muted.
I was saying, hopefully I got a pretty big size Doge bag, so let's send that too.
Whoa. Okay, Bill, I didn't know you were doing the Doge play. I mean, I absolutely love that community.
Elon, please just say, hey, it's gonna be on Twitter, please. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Daddy Elon, pump
Daddy
the back.
Elon.
Daddy Elon, please.
So Dan Hendrickson, our developer for the Onchain Media mini app, says this must have. He said because there it is. This went to number 3. Our mini app went to number 3 as this was being shared there. So I think there's a lot
Why
of
don't we?
potential.
Do you want to
for that.
show to the audience, because I know our QuickSwap audience is watching too. Do you want to tell us, like, what does the app do? Why should we all use it?
Yeah, so the Onchain Media mini app, this is on the base app and this is on Farcaster. It's basically showing you all the different projects we're featuring within the base ecosystem. You could see the most recent live stream, video, all the podcasts are there, and my newsletter, the Onchain Drop, is on there as well. And, you know, I cover everything from macro crypto news to what's happening on Base and Coinbase. So if you guys want to subscribe to that, that would be awesome. I know Bill has been doing a newsletter as well. But yeah, I'll share the on-chain drop would be really great just to get more support on there, where I do like a thorough breakdown every week of what's happening. And that's on the mini app. So
And it's all
yeah,
free.
that's my little
all
shill.
free. All free. But
Awesome.
yeah, no, seriously.
I'm in. Right after this show, first thing I do.
Well, Rock,
right.
we're
Thank you
gonna
so much.
also cut this up and, you know, post on Zora and give you some more content for to share, send it to you guys, send it to your community. So yeah, I think Rachel, I think we should wrap it up. I don't know. We ended on a high note.
We're ending on, yes, the highest of notes. Shout out to everyone tuning in, folks who are in the comments. I see you, Shazam. I see you, After Party. The MFer community pulling up strong today, you guys. I'm telling you, getting that MFer NFT.
Shout out to Bober. Shout out to the Bober fam.
Yeah, SWAT. I see Base Junkie's been in there. DGen. Thank you everyone for pulling up today and for supporting as always. I'm a pro. Thank you for being here. And we will see you guys on the next live stream.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Rock.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys. See ya.